So, it's a capital intensive business. One server with a B300 costs in the range of around 4.5 crores. 20,000 GPUs requires 1.2 billion. India has about 50 to 60,000 GPUs deployed today. So we believe that this figure will grow to at least 2 million in 2030. We'll be 1% of what India will see with 1.2 billion. We have companies doing drug discovery using AI, call center improvement, fraud detection and anomaly detection. So we are seeing now widespread production deployment of AI that's happening, and enterprises are seeing how easy it is for them to actually adopt this in production. So what they were doing the last 12 months was mostly experimenting, as you rightly said. But I think the next 12 to 18 months will be where they will deploy this in production. And this will not only be for productivity improvement, but it will also be for new lines of revenue streams that the enterprises are looking at this for. So enterprises have multiple choices, right? They can use, if there's no regulatory issue, they can use a cloud service like an OpenAI or a Claude, right? Which is Anthropic. They can use a hyperscaler like an Amazon, Google, Microsoft, or they could use a Neocloud like us. But they need to make a choice quickly. If they take time, if they still keep on experimenting and they don't actually make decisions, they'll get disrupted by their competition who does. And that's one of the reasons why we've raised money to scale up our infrastructure. India has about 50 to 60,000 GPUs deployed today. We believe this, and in the US there are millions of GPUs deployed. So we believe that this figure will grow to at least 2 million in 2030. That's a 35x from where we are today. Now, 20,000 GPUs requires 1.2 billion, right? So from a fundraising perspective, we'll be 1% of what India will see with 1.2 billion. But I think what this does is it validates our business model. It makes us viable for the large global hyperscalers and cloud providers who want to come to India. That they all knew that we had credibility because we had done NetMagic before. They knew that we had technical capability because that they can see, and there are independent third parties who've rated us as the best cloud, Neocloud in India. But they weren't sure that we had capital. Now that they know that we have capital, even mission critical enterprises, it's very important that the cloud service provider has enough capital, because it's a capital intensive business, so that they can put their faith on us for the next 5 years. Right? So I think that is why this funding was really, really crucial for us. I think this is one of the biggest things. Even when Jensen from NVIDIA visited last October, he said this, and I also have been always saying this, that while India was known as the back office hub of the world, this is one area that there can be a shift from outsourcing to creating products. So instead of just providing services, we can actually create products. So not only customizing for India by building large language models and vertical specific models that are relevant for the Indian context, but also building for the world. So we've got companies like Emergent, we've got companies like NVIDIA that have built successfully from India for the world. They've raised in 1 year to be over $100 million ARR companies, right? And that shows that we now can build for the world, not only for India. I think one of the fundamental aspects of this, for this to succeed, is the deployment of wide-scale infrastructure in India, so that these companies can build in India, not only for India, but also for the world.